Hi guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. This is Upasna, and today this video is really special. We're gonna talk about everything you need to know about TAPMI if you're joining this year. And for this video, I have my friend with me here, Tanvi.
Hi, I'm Tanvi. I'm a first year student. Well, technically now second year student at TAPMI. And I'm really excited to be here collaborating with Upasna to talk more about TAPMI and what it has to offer for y'all.
Yeah, right. So in today's video, we'll be talking about everything from academics to internships to placements, how the campus is, the hostels, and basically all in one about what all you need to know. I hope this is helpful. So make sure to watch till the end. And yeah, so let's go. Let's begin with talking about how the academics is at TAPMI and how what can our juniors expect when they come to campus and in terms of the academics first. So as you know, like a lot of people know this about the BBA course here. It's known for being rigorous or hectic. So what do you think about that?
I think that it's not about the course. I mean that there's that too. I think it's also about how you manage your time as well. Because I think a lot of people don't I think because our classes also start from 10 to 4:45, and after that we tend to say, we want to rest for a bit. That resting leads to procrastination, and we don't revise what we do, and we end up studying, I think, 1 2 days before like exams. And usually also we leave a lot of things piled up because we start off with having like these quizzes, then we have our mid sems, then we have our projects, and then these end sems. So because we don't, I guess, prioritize focusing on the little things and tasks and leave them for later, it does become sometimes a little too much. Or sometimes we just meet the deadlines like just maybe 1 day or 2 or 3 hours before. So I think the more you leave things till the last minute, the more it becomes more hectic. In terms of the course itself, practice does make perfect. There might be a few subjects, especially I think the technical subjects most people struggle with, which is math and usually accounts. And for people who have taken commerce, accounts actually is not too hard. It's just about learning to apply it. Because I think in our exams, in school it was pretty direct. So we have to do basic journal entries, ledgers, etc. But here we've given a case study, we're supposed to identify it. So because we've not been taught how to do that, it's new.
Yeah. So, yeah, I agree. Also, talking about our course being a multidisciplinary course, right? So, where we have a lot of subjects. In our first year, it's more of a foundation kind of a year where they're giving you a little bit of every subject and giving you exposure to, social sciences as well. So, it's like building the foundation for the coming years. And in the first year, because we have a lot of different courses, it becomes a little bit, stressful sometimes. But otherwise, TAPMI's curriculum is very similar to IIM Indoor's curriculum, where I've also seen the most of the subjects and the way they teach and the books are quite similar. So that way, that our course curriculum makes the hallmark of our course. That's why many of us chose this course in the first place. So now if we move on to what are like some of the subjects that we have in the first year.
Right. So we have, I think, about 6 to 7 subjects per sem. So accounts, economics, and maths remains the same for both sems. And we have other things like in our first sem we had anthropology, we had Excel. I think we had design was in our
Professional
second sem. So yes,
communication.
professional communication. And in our second sem, I think we had psychology, design thinking, scientific thinking. We also had Indian philosophy and Indian culture in global context. So
Right.
there was just, I think the one thing that sets TAPMI apart from others is that they want their students to be all rounded. So it's not just knowing about the core three courses that I mentioned about economics, accounts, and maths as well, but it's also about learning about different aspects that you need in business, like psychology and design thinking, for example, might work in certain areas that you wouldn't have thought of before. So I
Right.
think a
Yeah.
good gist of all these subjects would be very useful for a business student.
Yes, yeah, that's for sure. And again, talking about how our evaluation goes, it generally starts off with us, getting used to the subjects, and then we have a major segment of group projects. For example, in my first year, one of the projects that we remember vividly was our anthropology
Hmm.
project, where we went out to interview shopkeepers. So all like I feel this course really focuses on us getting exposed to real world problems and getting to know a lot about what goes on in real life in the ground. And also, as we had our social internship as well, so we'll talk about internships a little later. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, anything
And
you want to add?
just to add on for evaluation, we also have like two components. So it's not just your finals. Another thing TAPMI does is they also focus on the internal components too. So if you have like your quizzes, your midsems, your projects as well, and vivas, and class participation, which is just where you engage with teachers, all these little components add up to also like I think 60% of your weightage. So in case you're worried about your finals or you might think you haven't done well, you can also lean back onto these things. I think that's also some things that we always it goes unseen or people don't tend to focus on it too much, but I think that's really a good strategy to work on is focusing on your internals and making that strong too.
Right. Yeah. And then, as we're talking about academics, let's talk a little about the faculties as well. I think TAPMI does have a really strong faculty group, which is always there for its students, and they're there for supporting us. We also have this faculty mentors where we are assigned one faculty is assigned a group of 5 to 6 people where they get like a personalized experience there. So
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, and you get your faculty mentors, and I think the nice thing about that is you can reach out to them anytime you want, and it's not just for academic purposes. But if you do have your own internal like, personal struggles, you can talk to them about it as well. And we also had I think that one time towards the end I think of the semester too was where they were able to bond I think
Mm,
with us and Tapni
yeah.
let them take us out and do whatever we wanted to. So there's things like that. So it's not just academics all the time, but you can always lean on to them whenever you want them to.
Yeah,
And
right.
not just your mentor, but even teachers and professors as well. So they're
Yes.
always there, happy to help you whenever you have questions or doubts at any time.
Okay, yeah. So, as we're talking about like, the main parts of what you should know about when you come to TAPMI, let's also now talk about the placements because this is a major question that everyone has.
Hmm.
How are the placements here? Um, so, one thing I would mention that the BBA course is quite new in TAPMI and in other B schools as well. So it's our first batch is about to graduate this year, so we're not quite we don't have much information about it, but as we've seen our seniors in their internships and in their pre-placement offers those as well. So what do you have to say about that?
Um, I mean, see, the first reason I chose TAPMI, one of the main reasons I chose TAPMI was because of the track program that they have here.
Right.
So again, based on the internships that they've taken part in and offers pre-placement offers that they've got, there's also this entrepreneurship track that I'm pretty much interested in, and also because this happens in Manipal, and Manipal has been around for much longer, the one in Bangalore. So our honors track, which inculcates, I think, research as well. That's also a part of in Manipal. So because they've been around for longer, so you're in good hands.
Yeah.
Because again, been around for longer, so a lot of the programs that have already been here, they've already been fostering there for a couple of years. And even the study abroad program, they've also, I think, partnered up with different colleges. I'm not too sure about the name, so you can look on the website as well.
Oh
And I
yeah.
think you have to secure, I
As
think, a minimum.
sorry to cut
Yeah,
you off. As we're talking about, as you spoke about the entrepreneurship track,
yeah.
let's would you mind like mentioning what are all the four tracks? So
So we have the entrepreneurship track, we have the research program track, we have the study abroad program track, and I think there's a corporate career track, I
yeah,
believe,
yeah.
if that's all four. So I think research, corporate, and entrepreneurship are mostly in your fourth year. You'll have to do
Mhm.
that in Manipal. and your study abroad is with whatever universities or colleges
Yeah.
partner up with. Again, and the nice thing about that is if you actually, I think, score like a minimum of 8.5 CGPA in your third year, you directly get like admission into the colleges they partner up with. So you don't have to go out of your way to take the CAT exams and like apply abroad. So that headache and that stress is slightly less reduced.
Oh, yeah.
So
That's also for their MBA program as well. If you want to continue with
mm,
TAPMI for their MBA, that's also the criteria. So,
yes. So I think because of this honors like program track, which I don't see with any other colleges, which is very unique about TAPMI, is why I feel so okay and feel more secure about continuing with my course. So I don't really have any. And again, like Upasana mentioned, the internships that they've been, placed in, and the work that they've been doing, and also the recommendations that they've been giving to our mentors, I mean faculty as well here, just proves that I think we're in good hands. So you don't have
yeah,
to worry.
definitely. Yeah. Right. So now that we have spoken about the main parts, let's move on to another aspect, that is of the stay facilities and the hostels available on campus. So a lot of people had questions about how is that, is it nice and all that. So I should definitely say living on campus has been a really nice experience for me in the past year. And I think TAPMI Bangalore's campus has pretty good hostel facilities, which I don't think a lot of other colleges also have. And in terms of the hostels, then the mess, and then what other facilities we have, I think it's pretty good. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so too. And also, again, the main reason actually why I chose Stepney was great college, great curriculum, but also because it's also safe. Because a lot of colleges here in Bangalore that I applied to prior didn't really have a hostel inside like the college. And I know that especially for women, PGs are pretty unsafe to travel to at night, even though we have a bus, and also because you do get stuck in traffic a lot because this is Bangalore after all. So I think that that's one nice thing that TAPMI has here. We have our own like hostels here. In terms of the services that they provide, pretty great because especially when it comes to cleaning, they have someone who comes here and does that for us, and laundry as well, pretty convenient. And food as well as um, I mean, you're always going to miss home food. There's that. So I
Yeah.
don't know. That will never be anything. But
Mm.
they do try to cater to both people from everywhere. So they have food that's from north, food that's from south. They have available at morning to night. They also have nice sports facilities as well if you want to work out, if you want to hang out with your friends at the field. And yeah, I think overall, I think it's a really nice opportunity for us to stay here and make good memories with your friends and have fun. So
Yeah.
I think overall, I think the hostels facilities are great in that sense.
Yes. Yes, yeah. Also, when we're talking about facilities, we have a laundry facility here. Plus, we have a mart inside of our campus itself where you get all your required daily essentials and grocery items and everything. Then we have a food court as well. If you're getting a little sick of the mess food, you can always try out new options there. There are a lot of plenty of food items that are available to purchase. Then we also have vending machines. That's, I think that was something I was really shocked to see, and so it was really great because the midnight cravings, and you can just go and get something
Hmm.
from the vending machines which are inside the hostels itself. And then we of course have parcels which can be delivered to the campus, plus as Tanvi mentioned, the housekeeping. Then apart from that, I think pretty much those are the
I think we have
facilities.
that midnight menu as well, or something
Oh,
like that,
right,
where if
right.
you're hungry late night and you want something and you're snacking or you want something to crave, I think you can also order in. The college has that like facility where you can order in whatever foods that they have for you, and they'll come even at the most randomest hours of night, like 12, 3 a.m., 4, I think. I don't know
Yeah,
till how long they're open till, but
yeah,
there's that too.
yeah.
And of course, you have your Manipal Hospital's clinic there. So in
All
case
right.
you need, any help like at all at any time, they're open I think 24/7. So if you need anything at all, any allergies, any medicines, any emergencies of any sort, they'll take care of it for you.
Yeah. So that really sums up that we do the stay at the campus is really comfortable, and your all your needs are taken care of. Yeah.
Hmm.
Now let's move on to talking about how the campus is. It's really huge. When the first time when I came to the campus, I got lost actually. Like it's so huge, and inside the campus itself, we have around I think 7 departments. Like some of them, which is the MIT, Manipal Institute of Technology, then Manipal Law School, then MIRM, then DLHS, DOC. So we have so many departments that keeps the campus always like crowded. And the best part which I liked about the crowd there is it's really diverse. Like you'll find people from everywhere, each part of the country. So that's what makes it more interesting, I think.
Hmm. And with so many departments comes obviously so many different events and ideas that they've come up with. I think one of the biggest events that happens, I think that's been happening for a long time, I think is Falak, if I'm not wrong, that's hosted by MIT,
Yeah.
where they have like a bunch of competitions and events people can apply to, which ranges from I think poetry to tech to singing, dancing, art, etc. And they also have I think the stand-up comedian come in, and there was also a singer who came.
Yeah, the
Uh,
last time Monali Thakur had come.
yes,
Yeah,
sorry,
it's
that's
crazy. Yeah.
but yeah, so they and we also I think because I was part of the cultural committee last year, so we also had Kala that TAPMI hosted themselves. Again, pretty similar to Falak. Again, different competitions, events, fests, and special people were called in terms of comedy, in terms of entertainment for singing, dancing, etc. And it's not just about the concerts that go on here, which do happen quite often. There are also various competitions that people can take part in here that different departments like host. For example, MLS has like these mock like trials and like court cases and stuff like that. They
Yeah.
MIT also has a lot more like tech based. I also have I think they had this one startup uh,
Hmm.
competition. I don't remember. TAPMI
Right.
itself as well. I think the Deeksha.
Yeah.
So
Tapni
a lot of
has
exciting things that
two
yeah.
events mostly. Yeah, Adikshana, as you mentioned, which is a management fest, and we also have GLC, it's the Global Leadership Conference. So both
Hmm.
these events are flagship events of TAPMI, and where we get exposure to a lot of industry experts, and even
Hmm.
every now and then we have workshops hosted by a lot of sessions, lectures, guest lectures done
Hmm.
by so many people from the corporate world. So that way, I think the exposure also is pretty good, right?
Yeah, because we have people like industry experts themselves coming and talking, so we actually get a glimpse into what the corporate world currently looks like and what we'll be stepping into, I think, a bit soon. So I
Hmm.
think in that sense that, and some of these talks happen on Saturdays. So people say we're working Saturdays. Usually it refers to just mostly talks.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's also a part of like our curriculum. So they might be, especially when it comes to economics, I think. And there's also one time where we, I don't remember who had come, but he was known as the pond man.
Oh, right. Ramveer. Yeah,
Something like
sorry.
that. Yeah, he
I
had
don't
come
remember
and
his
it was really
name.
nice. And he talked about how he helped, the
Hmm.
government also funded him cleaning up all these ponds. And I thought
Hmm.
that was pretty exciting. And also from an economic point of view, we learned about different, things. So I think that it's not just important just to know about what's happening in the current world, but also how we also see what we're studying is how can we apply that to what's actually going on. So I think
Right.
that,
Yeah.
that better helps understand.
Yeah, right. And also, I think the campus being located in Bangalore is also an advantage because it's a hub of different startups and companies. And
Yeah.
so, entrepreneurship is also it's a great opportunity if you want to start in Bangalore itself. So, that also adds up and helps in terms of when it's time for your placements or when you're looking for better opportunities. I think that also adds up to it.
Yeah, and speaking of entrepreneurship, I'll talk a little bit of the track program, right? So if you're, you have come up with a business idea of your own, TAPMI or Manipal themselves will fund your idea if they think it's really good because of the whole incubator program that they have. And it's not just, I think, the entrepreneurship like track program, but also we also have an ESL club here at TAPMI as well that does something similar. So if you want to get into the entrepreneurship, I think track program pro tip, maybe apply to the ESL club as well. I'll give you some idea. But that's not all the clubs, I guess, that we have here at TAPMI. I'm sure we have
Yeah.
plenty more.
Right. So, as you're talking about ESL, let's talk more about the clubs and committees that are there in TAPMI. I am part of the Student Welfare Committee, which I got in last year, where we are responsible for organizing events across the year, and also to look after any issues that the students might be facing and discuss about how we can address it. And you've also been a part of of the cultural club, so yeah, please talk about that.
We mentioned previously, we helped to host the event Falak, and so usually we're mostly in charge of events that take place here. So we'd be collaborating with the student welfare club if we're hosting the like freshers party when you guys will come in for. And it is more than that. So we also have different other clubs, like I think the sustainability club, which is pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
We have the CE club, which is the CE committee actually. So we have committees and clubs here. So the difference between the two here is, I think committees are more funded. So for example, the cultural committee, they needed funds for organizing this event, and so does CE. So CE stands for corporate engagement, which is the thought committee, since that's usually the committee that's in charge of internships, as well as plays a
Yes.
huge part in placements as well. Then we also have alumni relations, where they bring in people that have already studied here. They can come and give talks as well. Then there's I think there was a dance club. I'm not too sure. Then there's this I don't know what it was called. One of our friends actually is the convener of that club for theater and drama.
uh,
Not too sure. Then
Pravamya, I think.
Pravamya, yeah.
Yeah. Then we also
And
have Prism, which is a committee that is in
hmm,
charge of covering all the events in terms of the media, and they look after our engagement. Uh, so yeah, public relations, which is,
hmm,
and then we have the competitions committee as well, which is in charge of all the competitions that take place in and outside of TAPMI.
hmm,
Then we have a finance club and entrepreneurship club. And the finance club, I think it's for second year students, not first year, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. So, yeah, in terms of the clubs and committees, also, you get a chance to express yourself and get to be in different roles. So, that also makes you more capable of becoming a better business person in the future, in the long term as well. Yeah.
yeah. I think the one thing here is just that I don't think you can be part of more than one committee. I think one committee and how many clubs of it you want
Yeah.
to. And as a first year, you won't be a permanent member. They'll make you like a volunteer. They're doing this so that you get exposure to a bunch of different clubs and committees. So you don't have to be committed to just one. So it's nice for you to be able to experience all the clubs and committees, whatever they have to offer and whatever you have to offer to them as well.
Right.
So, mm,
Yes. Yeah. Now we'll talk about the internships that we have. I did get a lot of questions about what all are the internships, and like when do they take place and all that. So here we have internships after every year at TAPMI. So after the first, second, and third year, it's in between the 2 years when you have the break, summer break. So that's usually when the internships take place. After a first year, we have the social internship, which is more of you being engaging in the social sector, where you go and volunteer with an NGO and get to know the reality of life here through your field work. So it's more of that. Then we have in the second year, after the second year is our sales internship, right?
mm,
Yeah.
I
And
think,
after the third year is the corporate internship. So,
yeah.
yeah, you want to talk about that?
So I'm not too sure about the exact details, but I know that these are going to be a little longer than your first internship. And because our first internship was about 6 to 8 weeks, and the nice thing about the social internship is that you don't necessarily have to be placed in Bangalore, and they will place you closer to your hometown, so you can be closer to home, your family, and your friends. So that's one nice thing TAPMI does. The second and third year, however, you'll be placed wherever wherever you get placed to.
Yeah.
and you get paid, obviously. And this will be for, I think, maybe 2 months, maybe 2 to 3 months. And you start, I think, mid May, and you come back, I think, around August. So good 2 3 months of exposure. It's crucial that you try, get the best and out of it as well, and do your best, because this will also help you with, if they have any good recommendations for you, the people here, they will tell your, mentors and faculty here, which will help you, in the long run. So I think that to take all of this into, like, even with our social internship as well, I think you get a recognition. I think if you do well or something of that sort, they have like these prizes
Yeah.
or some sort during the ceremony. I think that happens in October. Not too sure what it was
Yeah.
called, but you do get some sort of recognition as well. So I think the recognition goes a long way. So do take these things seriously. But I think from your second and third years, when you get more of a glimpse into the corporate world, because your first year you're still setting out, and I think TAPI wants you to understand all walks of life. So before you set out to the big workspace and workforce. So I think that each internship has something different. Right. So all in all, just to summarize, I think it's TAPMI gives us this internship to do at the end of every year of ours, and each of it gives us a different eye view into different parts of the corporate world as well. And I think it's important to build a good rapport, like I mentioned before, because if someone does put in a good word for you, it will, you'll be it does go a long way. So
Yeah.
I think that's about that.
Yeah, yeah, right. So, yeah, I think that's about it. We've pretty much covered the most important parts of whatever you would need to know about TAPMI if you're joining this year. I think it'll help you. So, yeah, that's it. If you need any more detailed information, you can just put them in the comment section and I'll be happy to answer them. Plus, we can probably, if needed, do a live session anytime later, where if you have any random question and answers, we'll do a Q&A session to address all your smallest of the doubts that you might have. So yeah, that's all for today. I hope you liked this video. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more such content. Yeah, any final words, Tanvi?
No, I'm just excited to be here. Thank you for having me, and I'm excited to meet all of you. And like Basna mentioned, comment down below if you have any questions, and we might do a live demo if you do have anything more detailed answer that you'd like. So
Right. All right then. Okay. So see you. Bye bye.